If you're coming to Iceland in December and you don't know what to expect, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll go over the weather, daylight, the northern lights, what to wear, and I'll give you a few examples of what weather to expect. No fluff or anything like that, just straight to the point. So let's get to it. The average temperature is between -3 degrees Celsius to 2 degrees Celsius. It's generally warmer in the south than in the rest of the country. So if you're heading up north, you definitely want to keep on listening. You should be prepared for all kinds of weather in December. For example, snow, sleet, hail, rain, and extreme winds. There's usually less snow in the south and in Reykjavik than in the rest of the country. So for example, the north or the west fjords. The frequency of yellow and orange warnings also go up in the wintertime, and December is no exception. Yellow and orange warnings just means that it gets a lot windier. And remember, we don't factor in the wind chill. So that average temperature I was telling you about, that's without wind chill. December is the darkest month of the year, with the 21st being the shortest day. You can expect around 4 to 5 hours of daylight, a bit more with sunrise and sunset. So you really want to plan your day around the daylight. So if you're gonna do the south coast, for example, you want to be arriving at your first stop as the sun is rising. As I mentioned, we've got a lot of darkness, which is kind of important when you want to see the northern lights. December is a good month to see the northern lights, because you don't have to stay up as late as, for example, this September. However, the intensity isn't higher than usual, but we have more darkness and therefore you have more chances to see them. Now for the main part, what to wear. And we'll start with thermal underwear. I've said it so many times, but these are the best base layer you can have for Iceland. They breathe well, they dry fast, and most importantly, they will keep you warm. Absolutely want to be wearing one of these in December. Now, for mid layers, it's all about breathability. So here are a few suggestions. You could go for a thin down jacket, or a hiking sweater, hoodie, sweatpants. Now, many hoodies and sweatpants aren't very breathable, but they are very warm, which is why I recommend you get them from a sports brand, because they are made to breathe a little bit better than regular ones. Then put on some good socks. I recommend merino wool. Keeps you warm, dries fast, and breathes well. Then put on some good hiking boots. Make sure they have a mid or high top. That's because you don't want the snow to get in there easily. You want them to be water resistant, good ankle support, and good grip underneath as well. It is so incredibly important to be wearing a good pair of hiking boots all year round, but especially in December and in winter time. You can also expect a lot of ice in December, so you definitely want to start thinking about crampons. And now for the outer layers. But first, you can rent all the outdoor gear right here with us. So leave the large bags at home and just bring a carry-on. Use the discount code DECEMBER for 10% off at icelandcover.com. Let's start with the pants. You'll want to wear outdoor pants to protect you from the wind and the rain and the snow. They don't have to be super thick, unless you want them to. I recommend that you wear just more layers underneath rather than putting on some really thick ski pants. It's easier to just take off a layer than having to deal with ski pants when you're going in and out of stores or restaurants. Then for the upper body. Now you've got two choices, the parka and the shell. The parka is extremely warm, windproof, and highly water resistant. If you choose the parka, you're not going to need as many layers. Most of the time, thermals will be enough. However, if it gets very windy, you want to have those mid layers ready to go. If you choose the shell, you'll need to wear a few more layers underneath. It's windproof, highly water resistant, and breathable. It's not as warm as the parka, but it is more breathable and therefore more flexible. So if you're going on long hikes or you're doing some strenuous activity, a shell might be a better choice. So which one do I recommend? For most occasions, I recommend the parka. A good parka is made for extreme conditions and is more all-encompassing than the shell. So if you're doing the Golden Circle or the South Coast, the parka is more likely to cover all conditions. And also, I like wearing just thermals and nothing else. And I'll mention the crampons again, because if you're doing the Golden Circle or the South Coast, it's going to be very icy around the waterfalls. So if you want to enjoy them properly, crampons are the way to go. Then put on a beanie and some thick gloves, a scarf if you want it, and you're good to go. Now I'm gonna give you a few examples, but if you're prone to cold or you're just not used to it, just add a layer to my recommendations. And always wear the hiking boots. Now this is a very normal day, cold and a bit windy. The sun is out, but it's not gonna do much. Wear thermals, outdoor pants, parka, beanie, and gloves. Now here, we're basically at a yellow warning, and this is a pretty bad day. It's very windy, so it'll feel very cold. The wind will bring the temperature down. But because it's not freezing, the weather's going to shift from raining to snowing to raining to snowing, which is always very nice. You'll want to wear all your layers. Base layers, mid layers, and outdoor layers. Just put everything on. Now here, even though it's quite cold, it's not windy. So on a day like this, you can wear normal pants, or you could wear thermals and outdoor pants. Put on your parka or a shell and some mid layers, beanie and gloves. And if you don't want to wear too many mid layers, just have a backpack with them ready to go. And that's it. I hope you have a better understanding of what weather to expect and how to prepare for it if you're coming to Iceland in December. And remember, you can rent all the outdoor stuff right from us. Use the discount code December for 10% off at icelandcover.com. Well, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.